Well, hello guys, Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. All right, so shout out to Cameron Billings, sharing some information to the Joe Boo Sports Report. As I always say, this does not work without you guys because there's no way in the world I can keep up with everything without help from others. So I appreciate the fact that people do share stuff with us. Um, Patrick Walker from Voice of the Star is reporting, so don't shoot the messenger if it's not right, that the chances of getting Lyle Collins back this week from injury where he's what do you want to call it? Him being on IR for lack of being in shape um, is close to zero unless maybe some holy water or something, a miracle happens. It's just not going to happen this week, that he's just not there. And this kind of makes me wonder, now wait a minute, it's like, wait. Everybody's kind of tired right now. Everybody's out of shape because of the shortened off season and stuff. But if for the last 3 weeks you have been working out, you know, with the trainers, working on the bicycle, working out on the field and things, that if it was just a conditioning thing, if you're telling me that right now through training camp and through the last 3 weeks, you have not been able to get into condition and shape, then that doesn't bode well for you actually being around for the rest of the season. That this must be something else. There must be some kind of injury or something underlining that's preventing you from getting in shape. I'm not saying that um, it has to be something more that we're not hearing on this. There's no way in the world that, with the training staff and everything else, that we can go through literally the last 4 weeks of him being on IR, not being ready now. There's got to be more to the picture here. And that's not necessarily good news. Although, here's what's kind of interesting with our offensive line. Um, we talked about this a bit because I'm wondering, like, guys like Connor McGovern. Okay, we've got Steele, who's an undrafted rookie that's out there. Of course, you've got, like I said, Connor McGovern. You had Taylor Badass that was there. That you may have to do some restructuring and kind of floating around, and they did that yesterday by putting Zach Martin out at tackle, which kind of helped. Badass, actually, for a rookie, did not play bad. Now, let me also say, let's pump the brakes a little bit on the Seattle's defense, because Seattle's defense is not very good. Understand that going to that game, they were dead last in stopping the run and the pass. So understand that that's not playing against the Rams and Aaron Donald. Now, what it may end up being is that Taylor Badass may end up being the starting center. And I'm concerned about Connor Williams. I've seen Connor Williams getting out-muscled and beat by guys too many times this season already. And when I looked at our offensive line there for a while, where we had three rookies, two of which were undrafted, starting. Now, this is trial by fire. You'll get some experience, and maybe if Tyron Smith gets back, then we're in a little bit better shape. Maybe. And maybe with the restructuring and guys having to play and things will get together. Now, if there's any good news for us, let me say this. We have so many Cowboy fans that are like, the season's over with, cancel Christmas, man. Here comes 8-8. I say pump the brakes a little bit on this, because I just want you guys to think about this for a second here. We have the remaining schedule that we have in the NFL right now is rated as the fifth easiest. Understand, we haven't played any games in our division. That's the Washington whatevers. That's the New York stinking Giants. And that's the Eagles. Now, I think the Eagles may get better than what they are right now, but listen to this. Sunday we play the Browns. I'm not saying we should sleep on the Browns, but, the Browns had a hard time yesterday against the Washington. Was it Washington? I can't remember who they played, but they had a hard time yesterday. We play the Browns. We play the Giants. The New York Giants. That dumpster fire. We play the Cardinals that are playing better, but they just got their first loss yesterday. Then we play Washington. And then we play the Eagles. before we take on the Steelers. Yeah. Let me say that again. Cleveland, New York Giants, Cardinals, Washington, Eagles, the next 5 games. Let's say we go 4-1 out of that, just hypothetically. That puts us at 5-3. Things look a lot different from that standpoint, don't they? They look a whole lot different. Because the one thing about the Cowboys that they've been able to do under Dak Prescott is own the division. Own the division. Washington has 1 victory over Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys in this time. The Giants have 2, and that was in 2016. And the Eagles, I think, have 3. So that bodes well for us. On the flip side, let's think about the Eagles, okay? Because I still believe that this is a 2-team race. I could be wrong. Washington could turn things around, but Haskins has already been put on notice. You know, the Giants, well, they lost Barkley, and Danny Dimes needs a payday loan. The Eagles play San Francisco next week, followed up by Pittsburgh, followed up by the Ravens. And then they get to play the Giants before we play them. I want you to think about that. Out of the next 4 games, how many of those do you think that the Eagles can actually win? Seriously. The way they've played, I'm not sure that they're favored against the Giants. When you talk about having to play San Francisco, even without Jimmy Garoppolo, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Baltimore Ravens. That's their next 3 games. So don't give up the ship just yet. Don't give up the ship just yet. Oh, and by the way, I think the Eagles actually have the hardest schedule remaining in the NFL. Yeah. So, at least for the Cowboys, when you think about those next 5 games for us, you think about the Browns, the Giants, the Cardinals, Washington, and then we have the Eagles. The next 4 games is when you get healthy and you get experience. Hopefully, Tyron Smith, at this point, I'm almost wondering that unless he is really, really healed, that maybe you let him sit out the Browns game and look and say, we're putting you kind of like on IR, no IR for another week just to make sure you're 100. Get some extra work in for these younger guys and try and look at being better down the road. Again, I don't know what's going on with La'el Collins, if you're going to get him back or not. But I may still consider, if I'm the Cowboys, Ron Leary went up to Seattle and didn't get a contract with them. He was in at the facilities. If he's in any kind of shape, I might consider trying to sign Ron Leary. So, with that, at least you have some extra bodies that are in here, especially if La'el Collins is going to be out possibly for the season. I'm just sitting here thinking that if you can't get in shape in the first 3 weeks of the season of being on IR, I don't know if you're going to be able to get it together for the season. Without a training camp, I'm not sure that you're going to be ready to rock and roll better than the guys that are at least right there right now. Whew. All right, so I hope you guys join us for our live stream tonight. I may kick off early because we have the game on Baltimore and Kansas City, which could be the game of the year. Could be the AFC Championship game. So we may kick off a little bit early. We got all kinds of news on the Dallas Cowboys and stuff, so we'll definitely be here bringing you the news on the Cowboys. All right. I will talk to you later.